Hey guys, welcome to Two Headed Dog Radio. I just want to say before this episode gets started that this is a pre-recorded episode that was supposed to air last week. For technical difficulties, it didn't get to, so it's airing this week. So the show was actually the Sunday before when I was talking about. Okay, y'all. Welcome back to Two Headed Dog Radio. Today's kind of a crazy episode because I went to the Bright Eyes show. Let's see, on Sunday. It is Wednesday now. I went to the Bright Eyes show on Sunday and it was freaking crazy. So basically this episode is going to be a recap of everything that happened because I am still in shock. I am still in shock. So music wise, this episode is going to consist of like a bunch of songs from their set list that they played, and I'm also just going to talk about my experience at the show because it was kind of wild and was not expecting it in any way. So I guess I'll start off with that and then we'll get into the music. So basically I went with my friend Estella, who's been on the show before, and you know, she read her poetry and stuff like that a couple weeks back now, and I went with her and some of her family, and I met them there. It was, you know, for a long time it was just like a chill show. Like Hooray for the Riff Raff opened up for them and they were pretty good. I've actually only ever heard like 2 of their songs, but I really liked them. And I was going to include them in the music portion of this, but the set list is so long. Obviously I'm not including the whole set list because it's like hours long. But yeah, I can't really fit them, so I think I'm gonna add some of their music in the next week's playlist. But yeah, they were pretty good, and we were at Barricade, so like at the very front. There wasn't like when I got there wasn't a huge amount of people there, so it was like pretty easy to get Barricade. And this comes into play later in the story. So Bright Eyes comes on after like an hour or something, and we're just listening. You know, it's awesome. I'm hoping that they play some of their songs, some of their older songs, like, you know, Lua, what else, First Day of My Life, like, so good. I loved those in high school. They were like a big deal for me, so I was hoping they would play them. They ended up playing them, so thank God. You know, it was awesome. And the end of the show comes around. It's like the last song. We had found the set list online, and there was like songs for like if they were gonna do an encore, and they did do an encore because they did an encore. They came out, they were playing and everything, and it gets to the last song of the encore, and One for You, One for Me, and it was like the very end of the song pretty much. And Conor gets down like right in front of the barricade because there was like some room obviously in front of the stage, you know, for photographers and bodyguards and like all that kind of stuff. So he gets down in front of that and is like singing, you know. He walks down to our side of where we were, which we were on the right side, and he has his hand out and he's like doing that thing where he, you know, grabs people's hands and whatever, and you know, just like classic concert stuff. And I had my hand out and he grabbed my hand. I was like, so Estella was on the very right, like she was like the last person at the barricade on the right, but I was like the last person that he grabbed, I think. So he grabbed my hand and then he walked back over to the left side and was still singing. And this is like the end of the song where it's just like, you know, do 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 do, and everybody on stage was looking down into the crowd, but they weren't really doing anything. They were just kind of like looking, which this I like blacked out, so I can only really remember like little parts of it just because I was in so much shock. Like it was just crazy. I would have never expected this to happen to me. But so basically he gets down and he's on, he's on the left side of the stage, whatever, like singing, and then he comes back over to the right. And I don't know if he did this with anybody on the left side, because I honestly couldn't see. Like, the way that I was standing, like, I didn't have like the best view of what was happening on that side of the barricade. But he came over to the right side and he puts the mic in front of me, and I was like obviously shocked, like confused, like could not understand what was going on, because I was literally like so shocked, like what. And he leans over and whispers in my ear, "Sing with me," and I was like, what? Like, literally what? Like, in the video, which is just like a short clip that Estella's mama took, and Estella has one too, in the video of me, it's literally so crazy. You can see me like fidgeting with my hand because I'm literally so nervous, and like, because like the spotlight is literally on me, like not actually, but like, you know what I'm saying. And it was really crazy. Like, I literally blacked all this out, like from pure like adrenaline. But yeah, basically he was like, "Sing with me," and I was like, okay, and I just like did. I was just singing like do 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 do, and so crazy. And I don't think that you could actually even hear me in the mic, because I was just like so in shock. I don't think I was being really loud, but so crazy, so insane, like literally what is happening to me. Hello. So yeah. So and then he's like, "Oh, that was perfect, love you guys," and then like leaves, and the bodyguard that's like, which it's so funny in the video, I'll post it on my Instagram at Two-Headed Dog Radio, but in the video, literally the bodyguard is like, the second he like says that, the bodyguard like pulls him away as if I'm gonna like kill him or something. Like, okay, chill, but whatever. Yeah, so like what, like, and then after I was literally like so confused. I was like, why me? Like, I just remember saying that over and over again, because I really, like, some of this I don't remember at all. I was literally like, why? And I was sober, by the way. There's no reason for me to not remember other than the fact that I blacked out. Like, crazy. So that tells you all it needs to tell you. But I was literally like saying, why me? Like, why'd he pick me? This is so crazy. Because I wasn't even really like singing along with the song very much, like, before he had gotten off the stage. So it's not even one of those things where I think that he would like notice me and then like come over or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was tired, the way that I was standing was hurting my feet, it was one of those, like, it was crowded, it was like I was just kind of ready to go home. Not because the show was bad or anything like that, but I was just tired. I wasn't like super peppy or anything. Yeah, so crazy. I'm probably missing a few details just because of the fact that, like, I literally blacked out, and I know I've said that a million times, but like, I don't really do that very often. Like, I have caught myself in the past, and even like recently, like, I'll dissociate stuff. Like, I literally forget how my day went, and that's like kind of scary. I don't think it's to the point of like diagnosis or anything like that, but like I am kind of familiar with that feeling. But that was crazy. And then we just like, the show was over, and literally it seemed like people ran out of the building. They were leaving so fast, like, because I was literally just like sitting there in shock. Like, Estella ended up getting the set list, which I can post a picture of that too, and I was literally just like, what? Like, I was just standing there, and everybody they just dissipated, which maybe they were looking for him to like get pictures or whatever. Maybe it was one of those things where, like, I don't know, but everybody was just like, they just left like instantly. And so we were just standing there like in shock, like all of us, like all of her family and her. We could not believe that just happened. Like, so insane. Would have never expected that to be me that happened to. And like, even watching the video, it freaked me out, because like, it doesn't feel like it was me. it doesn't feel like that happened to me. It doesn't feel like, because I remember it, but, like, only parts of it. And then for the rest of the night, also, this is, like, really weird, and I would be interested to know, like, if anybody who's, like, had this experience has felt this way, which obviously I'm not complaining at all. Like, that was so awesome, and, like, that's something I'm gonna tell my kids about. Like, that's insane, you know what I mean? But, like, for the rest of the night, I just felt so weird. Like, I just felt so strange. Like, I literally, like, I had gotten home, because it's like somehow I got in the car, in shock still, obviously, and then I just made it home. I didn't drive, so, see, if I was driving, this would be scary to hear me say this, but, somehow I got in the car, I got home, and then I was just in my apartment again, and life was just, like, back to normal, and somehow, like, that happened to me, but it's like I kind of remembered it, and I was kind of in shock, and, like, Bright Eyes, who I've literally listened to since, like, high school, which isn't really that long. I mean, it's been years. Like, I've been graduated for years, but, like, I was listening to them at literally, like, 16, and I'm 20 now, and so it's really crazy that happened to me, and then all of a sudden I was just back in my apartment, like, okay, like, living my life, like, everything's normal, like, what? So insane. And yeah, so I pretty much, like, dissociated for the rest of the night, or not dissociated, but I just felt really weird for the rest of the night, because I was just, like, confused and, like, still in shock, and could not believe that happened to me. Like, it was beautiful and amazing, and, like, they ended up reposting my post on their story, and, like, a bunch of people, like, a bunch of, like, fans and stuff commented on it and loved it, and was like, I was like, okay, so I'm famous, like, okay. But it's just, like, crazy that of all people that he could have picked that were at Barricade, because that's like, the Million Mine is a pretty big venue. Like, there's plenty of room, like, there's plenty of people at the Barricade. Like, he could have picked literally anybody, and the fact that he picked me was just, like, so crazy. Like, insane. Like, literally insane. Because he grabbed my hand, and that was, like, a big deal in of itself, because I was like, oh, that's crazy, like, you know, would have never expected that, whatever. Not even, like, a fangirl way, because I'm not even a super big fan of Bright Eyes, which is, like, what's, like, heartbreaking, and I hate saying that, because, like, someone else probably would have, like, passed out if it were them, which I pretty much fucking did, because of the way that it felt after, but, like, I obviously do like them, that's why I went to the show, and I've been listening to them for a long time, but just so crazy. And I know that I'm not, like, some, like, special person, because he literally probably does that at every show and whatever, and also, like, but, I mean, it is, like, a special memory, like, that's really crazy, and now I can just, like, tell people that, like, oh yeah, like, Conor Oberst sung with me, whispered in my ear at the show. Yeah, just so crazy. So that was my experience. It was really cool too, just, like, to be there in the show, because I haven't been at a show in, like, I don't even know, like, literally months and months and months and months, because I just stopped going. Like, I got in a rut with them because, like, I just got burnt out. I got burnt out on life. Like, I stopped doing my jewelry stuff. I stopped bending. Like, I was just, like, not, I don't know what the word for that is. I just wasn't in the best, like, place creatively, and I was kind of tired of, like, people. Not that people are bad or wrong or whatever, you know, but I was just kind of tired of being around people. I was ready to just be inside, and that was right when, like, the cold weather was about to hit, so it was, like, honestly perfect for me, because I just got to hibernate and, like, recharge for, like, literally months, and just, like, live my life, like, just go to work and see my family and my friends and, you know, my partner, and just have, like, a chill life for a little bit. And then I went back to that, and that was, like, the first show I went to in a while. That was the first time I dressed up in a while, so that was, like, nice to, like, just have that, you know, just to feel, like, I don't even know what the word is for that. But it was just like, oh, like, I'm gonna start going to shows now because that was fun and I had a good time. And obviously, not every single show I'm gonna sing with a famous artist, you know, duh. But it felt good to be around people again. I was very nervous to even be there just because, like, there was a good amount of people. And it's crowded, it's kind of noisy, you know, the lights are kind of crazy. You know, but it ended up being such a good night, so I'm really glad I went. I know a few people that, like, I have a few people that I know that also went too, and they seem to have a really good time. So yeah, I guess we'll start off the music now that I told my story. I feel like it wasn't even that, like, exciting or, like, interesting, the way that I told it, which it's been days. I should have, like, recorded this, like, right after, like, right when I got home. And I thought about it, but I felt too crazy to do that.
President, it was wrong, but I ordered it. Lost some limbs in an accident playing God at a table down at Edendale. Didn't feel good, wasn't eating well, and the photo booth made me hate myself. What a slob. It's hard now to imagine it. The currency was all counterfeit. Diana's face was scattered to the mob. Expensive jokes and cheap thrills cost a lot. Staggering down Bleecker Street, the label asked for a meet and greet. I agreed reluctantly, I couldn't be alone. Signed a sleeve for a teenager. It felt just like a harbinger. I was shaking hands with the manicured, worked my fingers to the bone. No, you shouldn't go home with the Soho girl, 'cause she only wants materials. And you shouldn't place bets on the New York Mets, 'cause at best it's hypothetical. Expensive seats and field of dreams, U-turns and limousines. Gotta get around the detour when it's blocked. Bells and whistles, fancy cheap thrills cost a lot. Teach you little schoolboy lessons, huh? Here we go. No, you shouldn't make noise with those Bay Ridge boys. When they're drunk, man, it's impossible. secondhand amps, a bent up crash. The band sounds like an animal. Cheap seats and broken dreams, U-turns and limousines. Gotta kick in the door when it's locked. Bells and whistles, cheap thrills cost a lot. Standing there watching as they're climbing up a Capitan, reaching for the draw and they're sleeping in the rubber bands. You said they were insane, shook your head as you grabbed my hand, led me deep into the woods until we finally had to double back. Yeah, everything was roses, every night it was baths and wine. Every time you would undress me, I could swear that you were freezing time. I thought that we were twins and lovers, we shared one mind, until it turned transparent and blatant and serpentine. So it's time to pay the piper, don't wanna be the last in line. They'll auction you at Christie's, you're gonna fetch a handsome price. And in time, they'll decide what was yours and what was mine. And you'll end up in a ditch stream feeling like the color of the sky. So you're playing your Nintendo, spun out like a gramophone, living in a basement, sleeping down there all alone. The conditions were perfect, more perfect for a perfect storm. Then they found you in the morning, hanging from an extension cord. The world is on fire, California is a crucible. We're running out of water, they already stole all the gold. You kept kissing me like Judas, your betrayal was apropos. You said I'm washed up and that's what I get for growing old. It's time to pay the piper, you gotta be the first in line. Oh, so they're burning you in effigy, well that happens to me all the time. Something kind, in disguise, a canary in the mine. You can't say I didn't warn you or prepare you for the afterlife. I did warn you. There's no beginning to the story. A bookshelf sinks into the sand, and a language learned and forgotten turn is studied once again. It's a shocking bit of footage viewed from a shitty TV screen. You can squint at it through snowy static to make out the meaning, and keep on stretching the antenna, hoping that it will come clear. We need some reception, a higher message. Just tell us what to fear, 'cause I don't know what tomorrow brings. It's alive with such possibilities. All I know is I feel better when I sing. Burdens are lifted from me. That's my voice rising. Michael, please keep the tape rolling. Boys, keep strumming those guitars. We need a record of our failures. Yes, we must document our love. I've sat too long in my silence. I've grown too old in my pain to shed the skin, be born again. Or it starts with an ending. So thank you, friends, for the time we shared. My love stays with you like sunlight and air. And though I truly wish I could keep hanging around here, my joy is covering me. Soon I will disappear. Solution but to love and to be loved. So I've made peace with the fallen leaves. I see their same fate in my own body, but I won't be frightened when I'm awoken from this dream and return to that which gave birth to me. Give birth to me, give birth to me, give birth to me. And the story goes, and the story goes, and it goes on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. It's going on and on and on and on. I got a friend who's blamed, and he spends his days in a constant haze. Never leaves a trace. It's a crime that pays. He's a textbook case. Pray for a miracle, a wrinkle in time. The wind is ephemeral, always blows my mind. Hear the music box unwind. Begging to be born, another unicorn in a uniform. It's a thing you hate, another switch and bait that you abhor. where they make mass hysteria. Yeah, it's all streamlined. Nobody bats an eye, 'cause the trains still run on time. Trains still run on time. Yeah, they do. The trains still run on time. Trains still run on time. The trains still run on time. Yeah, they do. The trains still run on time.
Always lost in a great big crowd. I hated that crowd. I used to dream about the crowd once in a while. I used to see all those faces scratching and shoving and biting. And then the mist would clear, and somehow all those faces would be me. All me, and all nothing.
Do you drink it till you're blind? And if you swear that there's no truth, and who cares? How come you say it like you're right? Why are you scared to dream of God when it's salvation that you want? You see, stars that clear have been dead for years, but the idea just lives on in our wheels that roll around as we move over the ground. And all day it seems we've been in between a past and future town. We are nowhere, and it's now. We are nowhere, and it's now. In like a 10-minute dream in the passenger seat while the world was flying by. I haven't been gone very long, but it feels like a lifetime. I've been sleeping so strange at night. Side effects they don't advertise. I've been sleeping so strange, with a head full of pesticide. I've got no plans and too much time. I feel too restless to unwind. I'm always lost in thought as I walk a block to my favorite neon sign, where the waitress looks concerned, but she never says a word. Just turns the jukebox on and we hum along, and I smile back at her. And my friend comes after work when the features start to blur. She says these bars are filled with things that kill, but now you probably should have learned. Did you forget that yellow bird? How could you forget your yellow bird? And she took a small silver wreath and pinned it onto me. She said, this one will bring you love. And I don't know if it's true, but I keep it for good luck.
Capitan, method acting, trains still run on time, and we are nowhere and in now. Next up, we have Lua.
I know that it is freezing, but I think we have to walk. I keep waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. But Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side loft. Supplies are endless in the evening, by the morning they'll be gone. When everything is lonely, I can be my own best friend. I get a coffee and the paper, have my own conversations. With the sidewalk and the pigeons and my window reflection. The mask I polish in the evening, by the morning looks like shit. And I know you have a heavy heart, I can feel it when we kiss. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out, trying to lift it. But me, I'm not a gamble. You can count on me to split the love I sell you in the evening, by the morning won't exist. You're looking skinny like a model, with your eyes all painted black. You just keep going to the bathroom, always say you'll be right back. Well, it takes one to know one, kid, I think you got it bad. But what's so easy in the evening, by the morning such a drag. I got a flask inside my pocket, we can share it on the train. And if you promise to stay conscious, I will try and do the same. We might die from medication, but we sure killed all the pain. But what was normal in the evening, by the morning seems insane. And I'm not sure what the trouble was that started all of this. The reasons all have run away, but the feeling never did. It's not something I would recommend, but it is one way to live. 'Cause what is simple in the moonlight, by the morning never is. It was so simple in the moonlight, now it's so complicated. It was so simple in the moonlight, so simple in the moonlight, so simple in the moonlight.
Sammy was indicted on a slow Friday. Called his family from the county court. screaming at his children down a long hallway, while the cops were beating on the door. Aisha's had a million names by now. There's a few that I've heard before. She's the brawn on the brains. Never took us long to know where we had to go. Billy took the money and she disappeared. Last seen in a Cadillac. A message was sent from beyond the grave. She said she's trying to pay it back. Our days are numbered. Hear the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. More round. Shots ring out and we all fall down. Soldier on, soldier on. Lead the convoy through the noise. Soldier on, tin soldier boy. Hollywood's dying like the palm trees. It's not romantic, it's a comedy. So when I'm gone, don't use my headstone for your imagery. Like another shitty Scorsese movie. Frank Sinatra was the best. Could put a bullet right through the chest. Well, every baby has old blue eyes. I guess they're gonna live until they die. Our days are numbered. Hear the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. More round. Everybody gather round. Our days are numbered. We're counting up now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. More lives. These cats couldn't kill me if they tried. Just soldier on, until LA breaks at dawn. Soldier on, through the noise, tin soldier boy. Soldier on, lead the convoy, kill the toys. Soldier on, my soldier boy. Soldier on, through the heartbreak and the joy. Soldier on, my soldier boy.
Okay.
And then that's another 3. I would take
Nice.
right?
Yes.
And then I take a 1, and then I take a chance. Someone puts a 3. And it is.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Play again?
I haven't asked you to understand.
That's because I'm in love with you.
You shouldn't say that to me.
Why not? It's true.
Don't.
Poison oak, some boyhood bravery.
telephone was a tin can on a string, and I fell asleep with you still talking to me. You said you weren't afraid to die. Polaroids, you were dressed in women's clothes. Were you made ashamed? Why'd you lock them in a drawer? Well, I don't think that I ever loved you more. Then when you turned away, when you slammed the door, when you stole the car and drove towards Mexico, and you wrote bad checks just to fill your arm, I was young enough, I still believed in war. Let the poets cry themselves to sleep, and all their tearful words would turn back into steam. But me, I'm a single cell on a serpent's tongue. There's a muddy field where a garden was, and I'm glad you got away, but I'm still stuck out here. My clothes are soaking wet from your brother's tears. And I never thought this life was possible. You're the yellow bird that I've been waiting for. The end of paralysis, I was a statuette. Now I'm drunk as hell on a piano bench, and when I press the keys, it all gets reversed. The sound of loneliness makes me happier.
Alright, and that was Tin Soldier Boy, Poison Oak. And for this last song, this is the last song that they played that I actually sung with Conor. This is One For You, One For Me. Remember, you can contact me on Instagram at Two-Headed Dog Radio. That is TWOH3ADEDDOG.radio for more inquiries, song suggestions, anything like that. And I hope you enjoyed today's recap of my show experience. It says One For You and One For Me by Bright Eyes.
Well, the transited is to love. You go back to love again. You understand where somebody's having a problem with your trip or whatever trip they're having a problem with, and you try to bring it together. You try not to cause division. You try to make it as a cosmos. It's a cosmos. Then it unfolds like a flower. It just keeps unfolding. Time keeps moving on. Instead of someone saying, no, man, we're going to become fascists. We're going to do it this way. And you said, no, we're moving on. And I hope I see you later, and where everybody's okay. And that's the human race. When there's total enlightenment, there will be peace. The world will be in bliss when there's total enlightenment. So enlightenment is knowledge. As much knowledge as you can get people to seek and understand. And it's mankind, it's me and you, it's us that do it. But we have to call it to a line. We say, look, I'm not going to go kick that guy's ass. That happened 10 years ago. I wish him all the luck in the world. That's love. Compassion, or what do you call it?
Mercy.
What's that?
Mercy.
Mercy.